Greetings. This is day 2 of how to write a really great paragraph. My name is Christy Miller, and this is a series, and you can find the other videos online as well to see day 1, and then there'll be day 3, 4, and 5. So the main thing we want to teach the kids right away in writing a paragraph is how to know the difference between general and specific. And so yesterday, we had them describe things, and they had to be more and more specific about their descriptions. They went home with a homework assignment to use words to describe how to draw what their bedroom looks like, as if they're laying on the ceiling, looking down, what furniture, what doors, what windows, what closets, that sort of thing. So that today, we're going to trade papers. And they trade papers with someone who they've never been in their bedroom before. And they try to draw the bedroom based on what they said. Now, sometimes kids' bedrooms are rectangles. Sometimes they're squares. And, they don't even tell you that. They're not specific enough. And so they're drawing the bedroom with closets and beds and dresser drawers and bookshelves, things like that, and they haven't specifically placed them with really clear words on the page. And so when the kids go to draw their bedroom, it's very confusing. And they show it to them and they say, that's not at all like my bedroom looks like. And they've learned that they need to be more specific. If you do the older one, I suggested that you could do an object at your house that was less complex than a car engine, but more complex than a ball, and take an object and describe that object to them, maybe your stove, or maybe the computer, or maybe a unique chair, or an outdoor chair, or your jacuzzi, or something along those lines. Put it in words, and then the next day we trade papers and they try to draw and guess what that thing was that they were supposed to describe. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But the kids learn they have to be more specific. The next thing I do is model for them an example, and I usually use my kayak. Kind of has some fun shapes to it, and I have to be very specific with them on how to draw the points of the kayaks and the hole for someone to sit in, and then the hatches where we store things, and the ropes that go along the kayak, and have to describe all of that for the kids. Take it step by step, but I demonstrate to them how to be specific, how to use similes, and tell them it's like this or it's like that, or don't draw this yet, let me describe it first, and then come back and sort of draw what I described. And so they'll do that, and they kind of catch it a little bit more how specific you need to be. And most of them can guess that this is a kayak because they've followed instructions pretty well. If they've listened, it's a good listening exercise too. So then the next thing we do is I give them some nonsense shapes. And they're going to sit back to back with a friend. One of them's going to draw, one of them's going to describe. Now here's an example of a nonsense shape. It's not anything, but it's a bunch of shapes put all together. Here's another example of a nonsense shape. How would you describe to someone how to draw that? What would you do? How would you get the circles joined together? How would you get the exclamation points and the question marks put in the right place? How would you do that? You have to be specific. Now, in this exercise, they can't see what the other person is drawing. They're sitting back to back. The one person is drawing. The person who's drawing may ask questions, and the other person can answer the questions, but they may not look at what they're doing until the very end to compare to see if what they drew is what was described. So then they take these nonsense shapes, sit back to back, and they take turns. One student will share, one student will draw, and to see how they do it. Another thing you can do is, if you don't have much time in the classroom, is send them home, because they're really fun to do with a sibling or a parent, and to see if they can describe it to them. I've watched kids do this year after year. I've been teaching for 37 years, and I've watched them do this exercise, and I've seen them grow so much in their ability to communicate, and their ability to see how specific they need to be. And then tomorrow we're going to translate that into more general and specific ideas. So I will see you for the day 3 video.